Hi, I'm the CID man, and I'm here because my partners were incompetent. We got news that Yossarian ran away, so I'm here to interview some of his colleagues. First, please state your name and occupation.
My name is Hungry Joe, and my official position here is a perverted soldier.
What did you do before the war?
Before, I was a world-renowned photographer for Life magazine, but now I just try and take pictures of my friends in compromising situations. For example,
Hungry Joe, stop it!
Did you hear you met the required number of missions?
not again.
Thank you for speaking with us today, Hungry Joe.
It's no problem.
Next up, we have another guest. Please state your name and occupation.
Milo Minderbinder. Chef, head of the syndicate, robber baron.
And Milo, how would you say your chocolate-covered cotton industry is going?
It's going terrible. I have so many cotton balls and I don't know what to do with them. I've been trying to cook them up and feed them to all the soldiers because I run the kitchens. Try this chocolate-covered cotton ball.
No, thank you. No, thank you.
Try it.
I really don't
it's
want
really
it.
good.
No, I really.
It's really
okay.
good.
You can
Try it.
eat it. I don't want it.
I did eat it. It's
Okay,
so good.
well you can have 2 more then.
Eat this cotton ball. Eat it.
No, thank
Eat
you.
it. It's really, really
no,
good.
Some people would call you a traitor. How do you feel about that?
I am not a traitor. I'm only doing what's good for everybody. Everybody in the syndicate. I'm doing what's good for you and what's good for you.
Milo, you can't bomb us. We're your own men.
I have to. Germany's giving me money. It's for the syndicate.
No. Now we have a new guest. Please state your name and occupation for the record.
Cathcart, Colonel.
And how was your day, Colonel?
It was a pretty good day. Just raised the number of missions to 40.
And how do your men feel about that?
I mean, they're a little salty about it, but now it's 45, so they can be saltier.
And what's new with the war?
Nothing much besides that I raised the number of missions to 50. That's about it.
And are you planning any new or different attacks?
Yeah, one on Germany, but that's going to be in the 55th mission that I'm doing this week.
And do you know why Yossarian would leave?
Probably because yesterday upped the missions to 60.
Oh, and what's your favorite color?
65!
Now, Colonel, I heard that you're teaming up with the chaplain to send messages to the families back home with soldiers who have died or are missing.
Yeah, well, you got to do whatever you can do to look good for the newspapers.
Go.
Ooh, a letter from Colonel Cathcart. Dear Mrs., Mr., Miss, or Mr. and Mrs. Danica, words cannot express the deep personal grief I experienced when your husband, son, father, or brother was killed, wounded, or reported missing in action. Colonel Cathcart.
And now we have another guest. Please state your name and occupation.
I'm the chaplain, and my chaplain.
Tell me about your role in the war effort.
Well, I was supposed to lead the prayer services before the men went to battle, but Colonel Cathcart didn't like the idea that the officers and the enlisted men both worship the same God.
That sounds like a real problem. Please state your name and occupation.
Chaplain? Chaplain?
Okay, so what happened when you met Yossarian?
Oh, well, we met in the hospital, and it was love at first sight.
Please state your name and occupation.
I think you asked that before. Chaplain? I'm the chaplain.
What was your relationship with Yossarian?
Oh, well, we got to be really good friends, especially while he was sick in the hospital with his deadly liver conditions.
Okay, so one more time. What was your name and occupation?
I think I'm having deja vu. I think you asked that already. I'm the chaplain.
Has anything weird ever happened to you before?
Well, one time I was having a funeral service for a kid named Snowden who died in battle, and there was a naked man in his tree, I know he wasn't really there, but he was in my mind. I think it was a message from God. He was telling me that I have to be better at being a chaplain and help the enlisted men get through their service. We are gathered here today to... Is that a naked man? In a tree?
I just have one more question. What's that in your hand?
Nothing's
Your
in my...
other hand.
Nothing's in my hand.
It looks like a tomato.
It's not a tomato.
It looks like a tomato.
Colonel Cathcart gave it to me.
No, you stole it.
I didn't.
Anyway, thanks for being with us today.
Next up, we have another guest. Please state your name and occupation.
My name is Nately's Horn, and I've got the oldest profession in the books.
Do you know where your sister is?
Not really. I know Yossarian went to go look for her after the Popo came and shut us down, but I don't know.
And when was your last interaction with Yossarian?
Well, I remember trying to kill him with a knife many, many, many times. Do you feel guilty now?
Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Now we have a very important guest. Please state your name and occupation.
First name Major, middle name Major, last name Major, Major.
Major. You're a very hard person to track down. Something about never wanting to see anyone while you're in the office?
Yep. You can see me when I'm out.
So what do you do while you're in the office?
Well, you know, I do things, sign things, sit around.
Now, has Yossarian ever come to you in the office for anything?
Yeah, one time he tried to jump through my window because he wanted to talk to me about lowering the number of missions, but I had no power in that.
Major, can you lower the number of missions, please?
Thank you very much for being here, Major.
Major. Oh my god, it's Orr! Come sit down! How did you manage to get away?
With an oar.
Can you be more specific?
Well, I practiced crashing my plane in the water a few times, and from there, it's history. And I rowed my boat.
Do you think that encouraged Yossarian to run away?
I don't know, maybe. He's a free spirit, though.
Okay, thank you for talking to me. Maybe you should go get cleaned up a little.
Maybe.
Breaking news. Yossarian has returned. Yossarian, why did you run away?
The colonels kept raising the missions, and I just couldn't take it anymore.
I heard Colonel Korn offered you a deal, though.
Yeah, he did. If I talked good about them back at home, then he would let me go, but I don't really like them, so I wasn't going to do that.
And now, what are you going to do? Wait, Yossarian!
Yossarian, don't forget your shoes!
I'm wet! Okay!